Center right here in New Dena, out to Dena, and this is our interview series, and we're going to interview a fantastic individual that is just prolific in sound, prolific in voice and voice control, understanding, and motion. So, without further ado, Mr. Mike Wambu. Is it Wambi?
Wambo.
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 Thank you. You know, Mike, I always like to start the interviews out, and thank you for, interviewing with the Jazz Zone with Mike. What is it that you would like to talk about?
You know something? There's so much to talk about nowadays.
Yes.
You know, I think, I think the hottest topic, the buzz, has been social media.
Yes.
Okay, and there's been some, because I like to write, pen in my hand. I like to write, be creative, have fun, things of that nature. So I kind of created as far as this atmosphere, this club.
Yes.
Okay, and it was funny too, because how the name came up about the club is like everybody has, or actually, we're going down the street and that's one of my friends says, why do they call them humps? And some call them humps and bumps.
Yes.
We gotta go to schools, there's humps and there's bumps. And I said, something, and there's dips. I said, hey, let's open a club called Humps, Bumps, and Dips. but yet, what we were talking about as far as this is social media. So I have a club called Humps, Bumps, and Dips. And all in the club is nothing but texting. Social media. Just text. In other words, we can have a conversation over here, and I see somebody like out there, and I got their number, because before you go in, you got to sign a little agreement, you go in there, you can text, and I could be texting somebody, and you text all over social media. I have not talked to so many people since this jackpot was $1.5 billion. Conversation. Is that what it takes to have a conversation with a person? Is that the buzz, the social media? And that's what we do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, but you have a TV show too, am I correct?
Yeah.
And what is the name of that, and what are you doing with that?
It's called The Mike Wam Show. And of course, my name is Michael Wamble, so the first three letters, my first and last, Mike Wam. I've been knowing, that for a long time. Okay. And The Mike Wam Show, we exploit extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. That's my
platform
for my show. That's initially what I want to do. I wanted to empower, or to let people know what our community is doing and who's doing it especially, and what they're doing in the community. I think it's like, you got that star quarterback who's underrated, nobody talks about him, but he always wins a championship.
Yes.
But there are people in our community that wins championships, doing what you're doing here. Okay, what they're, all the organizations going on. There's so many people, of so many cultures out in Pasadena doing extraordinary things. So I want to put them on the platform and give them their praise.
Well, you're talking about extraordinary things, because here at the United Economic Development Fund Community Center, as we started with the Thursdays and Fridays, I know you are good friends with both Mr. Fred Wiggins, and also our number one DJ, Pasadena here, big time Bruce. But extraordinary things is you just threw right in, set up the sound, continued to come and set it up, and be sure that things were working properly and in order. Which I have to say, personally, I totally appreciate anybody that has the understanding that this has got to get done, and I'm going to do it.
Roscoe, I've always been that type of person, even though the days that I really couldn't speak, I was pretty mute for a long period of time. In my early childhood, I didn't speak at all. So, I just kind of observed, watched, and listened, and really kind of figured things out. So that's always been in me. My mother used to call me Michael Do, because Michael do anything. He doesn't care. I'm a thrill seeker. But to talk about as far as my Fred Wiggins and friends, we go back a long way.
Yes.
We've been creating things and doing things, trying to, just get the music off the ground and bring people together culturally, just with the spirit of music. And I've always wanted to interview you on my show. But it got enormous, you know what I mean, as far as the area we was working on, and I said, I want to interview Roscoe. You know something? Is it okay if we trade seats for a moment?
Sure.
Yeah, come on, let's trade seats.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I've never interviewed him. Okay. Matter of fact, you know something? He was my announcer on my show. Matter of fact, Bang, hey, you know this? Can we have a little theme song, right? Like, you know. You know what I mean? Come on.
Hey, Steve.
Come on.
He want a little theme, a little background.
Come on.
Go ahead on. Yeah.
Just, you know, like, just give me like a theme song for a talk show, something, you know, kind of jazzy. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
It's just me.
You know something for the piano's fine. Go ahead, go. Fred.
Coming to you live from Altadena. Everybody put your hands together for the man with the best with the plan. Give it up. It's time for the Mike Walsh Show. Mr. Mike Walsh.
Thank you very much. You know something? I'm going to get straight to the chase. No monologue today. This man has been doing great things in the community. I think we need to talk about it. You know, I mean, he is literally, I really wanted to interview so long, has so many guests, and it's an honor right now as far as to be on my show here at the Jazz Zone. You know what I mean? Right here in Altadena, new facility. Tell me exactly what is the mission statement here?
The mission statement that I see here is the opportunity to show the new Dena, which is coming together is the beginning. Staying together is success, and working together is an absolute win.
You know something? And I believe that.
Yes, sir.
I truly do.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, tell me something. What's your favorite all-time jazz group and why?
My all-time favorite jazz group is my idol, which is the Jimmy Owens Trio Plus One, which was my dad.
Now, what did that take you? When you listen to some Jimmy Owens Plus One, sitting back, you know what I mean, back in the day, maybe, you know, a little bit of, I don't know, we'll put that out. But just, where did it take you? What does jazz do for the soul?
You know what? See, as a kid, I grew up, my parents are from East St. Louis. Straight down the street from Chicago.
Oh, you know something? Speaking of Chicago, I got brought you a present. A Chicago beanie. There you go. I got my Raiders one on. You know what I mean? I don't know how that stand out on there.
But I want that Raiders one. You know what I'm saying? I want
Chicago. You know what I mean? There's so much jazz about Chicago. That's for you, brother. That's why I'm sure we bring presents.
Thank you. I'm on your show. Ooh,
you know what I mean? I know we have a big sound of applause. You know, thank you very much.
So what happened to me as a youngster, my dad being from East St. Louis, and they were out here in the late 40s, early 40s, 50s, and that, and musicians were coming from the Midwest and the East Coast out here, and so a lot of them gathered in my living room, just like right here, and they was doing jam sessions. But some kind of way, it didn't get to my soul. I needed to get out of there and go play. And my dad said, well, you know, I'm going to teach you how to do this and that. I didn't have the discipline. But that's when you look back and you say, wow, what did I miss? Ultimately, I ended up in jazz, working with my dad, because he had succumbed to illness and cancer. The more he succumbed to cancer, the more I got involved. I got so involved that I was doing what you were doing, racking the drums in and doing this and doing that. And then I'd leave and come back and, you know, help them pack up. And then I'd come and rack them up and stay. And I'm a salesman, so I ended up enjoying what they were doing, and I started asking people for gigs. Pretty soon, me and my dad, we started working together. I just loved it. And I couldn't leave it. And the thing that I understood is, I don't care what you got in your mind. It's what the Father has put in your soul that you will do. And my passion just took me into just continuing to create, and I had the opportunity to work with many, many creative people, not only in music, but in art and in therapy. I'm a therapist, so I work with all of that. And one of the things that Nolan was saying earlier in his interview was that how running and music related to me, how therapy and music and art relates to my soul, and that's what I have to do. And so it become part of the passion, and you just can't stop.
No, as a matter of fact, as far as music never leaves you, if you're born with the element of music, because even myself, I started playing clarinet as far as the clarinet in the 4th grade. Okay. And by the time I got to high school, I was playing jazz band, marching band, or city band, or concert band. And I was playing right there with Fred and Art, we used to see here on Friday. I used to play along with those guys.
Yes.
But I went to college and put the instrument down, and as Fred says, I picked up the football, the pigskin.
Okay.
And I just ran and ran and ran and ran with that. Okay. But the music came back. Yes. So, so you see me here working at the Jazz Zone on Friday nights, put a little plug in. Friday nights, be here.
Yes.
Okay, you're going to have a real good time. Okay, as far as with Jazz Zone and Fred and Friends.
Yes.
So, I enjoyed doing that, and you can just see it on someone's face when they enjoy doing something. Whatever the Father puts in your heart, you're supposed to do.
Yes.
That's our biggest pitfall. Lord, I know I'm supposed to do that. Okay, don't pull teeth, just do it. Music is a beautiful art. We'll be right back. We got to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back with more Jazz Zone right here on Altadena.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you switch back.
Well, you see how that switcheroo went?